So we're in the busy season. Although really, when you're a small business, isn't every season the busy season? But you may be sitting out there wondering right now where you can cut corners, right?
We're in the busy season.
See? So what happens when you cut corners? You're probably thinking about ways to cut corners, get some time back maybe. We're going to talk about why social media is so important to your small business, especially if you are trying to grow. If for some reason you're not trying to grow or you're trying to reduce your business, then yeah, okay, this might be something that you could cut. But if that is not the case, if you're looking to make more money, get more customers, get your business growing again, you definitely need to stick with it. And we're going to talk about why. Because if this is important, it's super important, in the fourth quarter. So, and that's when we're recording this. So let's get this show started. Why is that not working anymore? This is the way things go. Okay, so you're out there, you're doing everything you possibly can to keep your business going, to grow, to expand, do all these kinds of things, and you're feeling like, okay, I need to cut someplace. I don't know if social media is really worth the effort. We're going to talk about not only why is it worth the effort, but all the different ways that you can track that, because being able to measure something makes it much easier to understand the importance of it. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Kathleen Sinnott, and I'm here as your tech coach. I come every week with a topic to help small businesses get more out of the technology in their lives, and this is no different. So let us get started, because we have a fair amount to cover. I need this and that. Okay, so we're going to talk about the top 10 benefits of social media for your small business. And at the end of this, you're going to understand why it's so important. Hello again. Here I am. Okay. So, why are we doing this, right? Why are you doing social media? Number one reason for doing social media is increased brand recognition. So here's the thing, right? Easily, let's be conservative and say that half of the world's population is using social media, right? I'm guessing it's probably more than that. I mean, do you know how many people are walking around without one of these things? You're sure there's a subset of the population that maybe for some reason is not looking at it, and that's why you don't want to abandon your more traditional methods of getting your name out there. But the reality is that when they're doing surveys these days, they're saying that at minimum, right? Again, we're going with conservative numbers. There are some much bigger numbers out there, but conservatively, 60 to 70% of the people that they survey say that they find new goods, products, and services on social media. Whether that's, Instagram or Pinterest or Facebook or whatever. That depends to a great deal on who your audience is, because there is definitely certain types of audiences that pay more attention to one social over another. So that is something that you will need to do a little research into. Good news is there is a ton of research out there about that. If you're looking for one place to go take a look at social media marketing. They've got really good numbers on who's where, what they're looking for, that type of thing. But the reality is that is where most people today are first becoming aware of companies that maybe they hadn't heard of before, and where they are starting to do their initial research to see whether or not that company, that good, that service is something that is going to work for them. So, hands down, number one, that's why you want to be there. But that's not the only reason. Of course, there are many more. The other benefit of social media is that it encourages engagement. By the nature of it, right? It's right there in the name, social. Right? It's all about being social. It's all about making connections. It's all about sharing and your ideas, sharing things that you found out there. So things like comments, likes, which, by the way, hearts, shares, click-throughs, to your profile, to your website, to your e-commerce site, to your blog. These are all the types of things that people expect to find once they make that initial recognition contact with you through social media. So the idea is that, you've been posting something, you started to bubble up in their consciousness, because this is a long tail kind of a game, right? One social media post is not going to open the gates for you, but it's a over time kind of thing, like really any kind of advertising. You're going to get the word out there, you're going to start to register in their subconscious, which will work its way up. And then they will start to pay more attention. They'll start to look for your posts. And then maybe if somebody that they know ends up just inadvertently, sharing something that you've posted with them, the recognition goes higher and the trust value goes higher, because now not only have they recognized you, but they've gotten that positive feedback from somebody else that they know, which we all know is worth gold. So encouraging engagement, definitely a big thing. And also it makes it really easy to get that kind of engagement, because comments are built in, right? The likes, the hearts, the follows are built in. Being able to click through, whether it's on your Twitter profile or your Instagram profile or wherever, there's something that they can click through, get more information about you, where you should have a link to your website, your social, so on, and so your e-commerce, your blog, that type of thing. Let's keep going. It establishes your brand and you as a thought leader. Now, what are we talking about here, right? So no matter what industry you're in, doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't care, if you're selling products, if you're selling services, if you're a gamer, on Twitch or Mixer or whatever. Social media is your opportunity to position yourself as the go-to source for information and background information, insight, that type of thing, related to whatever it is that your area of focus is. So, if you are selling jewelry equipment, right? The more that you start to post and share your thoughts and share information and share tips about that industry, the more you are seen as somebody who knows something about this, that can be trusted, who provides good information, communicates in a way that they understand, and by showing up on a regular basis, you're also laying that underlying level of trust, because they're like, hey, you're serious about this, you're providing good information, you're following through, you're doing it on a regular basis. All of these things feed into you being seen as the place to go for whatever it is that you are talking about, you are selling, whatever your services are. So that is a big win right there. And it's stuff that we know, right? Because whatever line of business we're in because we know it, right? We're living in it. We're in it day in, day out. So it's really easy for us to share that kind of information because it's second nature to us, but to our audience, it could be brand new. It could be something they're not sure about, or they think they know, but they're not completely confident about it. By you putting that information out there, sharing it, it definitely helps to build you up in their eyes. And by being very consistent about it and being professional but not overly polished, you don't want it to be sell, right? You don't want to be, I'm going to throw back here, which may or may not be regional, but you don't want to be Crazy Eddie, right? Yelling at people in the screen there. You want to be having a conversation. You want to be sharing information. You want to be providing value to them in whatever you're posting, whether that's information, education, and you know what? A little humor goes a long way too. And don't be afraid as you're doing this to also be human about it, because that's what other humans are looking for. They're not looking to connect with a company, right? They're looking to connect with other humans. So, throw in the occasional, picture of your dog. Let's see, can I bring my doggy up? Okay, well, you can kind of see him there. He got his hair cut today, so he's exhausted. But whatever you do, you want to make sure that you are coming across as a human while you're out there and you're sharing this information with your crew. This is a big one. Okay, it is cost effective. There is no cost other than some time if you're doing it yourself. If you're hiring somebody to do it, of course, you're going to be paying them. But this is not something that's going to cost you $1 million a month. No way. And if, by the way, your social media person is trying to sell you service for $1 million a month, yeah, no. So you want to make sure that this is... that's another benefit to this. It's like it's a real easy thing to do. It's certainly the cost of entry is nothing. Okay, you just need to have some sort of an electronic device that you can post from, and then an idea in your head, and you are good to go. Of course, you can ramp up, you can add special things as you go along, but the point being that none of that is a barrier because you can just go ahead and start doing that right away. I'm gonna take 1 second here because our friend Jason is here. Hi, Jason. How are you? Happy Thursday. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good one. If Petra's still there, say hi for me. I'm a little jealous. Looks like you guys are having fun. And Forsaken Destiny, hello, how are you? I like the name change. All right, so let us jump back in. I just had to say hi to some friends there. That was, see, because this is what it's all about. It's about connecting with other human beings, right? Okay, so I should also, wait, while we're while we're off topic here, we might as well stay off topic. I'm just listening. We have been having a windstorm here for well over 24 hours now. So if I disappear, that would be why. Because we are still getting gusts of 50 and 60 miles an hour. So, okay. I heard something banging against the house. So, all right, we're good. We can go back. It's just, if we were going to drop, there was no sense I can be sitting here talking to myself. Okay, so cost effective is definitely a huge win. It is one of the wonderful things about social media. There are some challenges with it, but one of the wonderful things about it is you can get so much more reach for nothing, because none of the profiles, none of the social media platforms are going to charge you for posting there, right? It's not like buying an ad. So all you need to do is set up an account and start posting. That is literally all you need to do. So as far as cost-effective options go, this can't be beat. The other nice thing about it, which a lot of people don't think about going into it, but over time, as you, again, are doing this on a consistent basis and you are interacting and responding to the people who give you the likes or post a comment or a question or whatever, you are building a sense of community between you and them. But the other thing that happens is you start to build a community between the other members. So the other people who come check out your postings, your profiles, they start to share it with other people. They start to talk amongst themselves. So it kind of becomes an organic group of people that have shared likes or interests, and that then also can reach out and help each other or help spread the message for your business, or help other people find solutions that maybe are parallel to yours but not exactly in your. The point being that there's a lot of ways that this starts to expand, and don't be panicked by that. That's a good thing, because none of us can provide everything to all of the people, right? So we have our niche, right? We have the things that we can do for them, but there are going to be times when they're going to need something else. So the fact that they can come to you on your social and ask for advice, the fact that they can come to you and maybe they've gotten to know some of your other followers over time, they've developed a certain level of trust with them, that they can get inputs from them, that actually all reflects very well on you, because you are still seen as that thought leader, even in the areas that maybe you are not directly servicing them for. So I know some people freak out over that, but it's really exactly what you want. You want people to start to come together and, communicate and mix it up, and start to share information and experiences all through social media. That is what it's all about. That is why the word social is so key to that label. All right. Well, there is Mixer love. You know that there's Mixer love. And I am watching. Hey, Jer, how are you doing? The only thing is I can't bring up the Mixer comments because I don't have a tool for that right now. But I am watching you. And I do see that you are there. But yes, I do. So this is, I'll explain that right now. I do multi-stream this show. So right now I am on Mixer, on Facebook, and on YouTube. I can share the comments that we get from Facebook and from YouTube online, but I have to just tell you about the ones from Mixer. Eventually the tool will catch up. It's just, the developers can only do so many things at once. So they just released a big update to the streaming software I use. So we're giving them a little slack that it's going to take a little bit longer to get the Mixer connection that we're looking for. So yes, there is lots and lots of love, I promise. And thank you for coming by, Jer. I appreciate that. So building this sense of community is absolutely key. And again, this is the type of thing that not only will you be seen as a thought leader for the thing that you are focused on, whatever your area of business is, but over time, people will start to trust you and ask you for suggestions maybe a little bit outside of that, which still reflects positively on you as a thought leader. Win, win, win. It's all good. Also, this is a good opportunity for you to make connections with other parallel companies that maybe you're not aware of. Start to follow them, start to engage with them, because again, there are times when you're not going to have the solution for the person, for what they're looking for. But if you can say, hey, I know these great people, I've been talking to them for a while. You should go, you should check them out, talk to, Joe over there, or talk to Sue over there. And they start doing that for you. Again, this is all how this works, right? The rising tide theory. So you're recommending somebody, they recommend people to you. All of this is helping everybody build their audience, build their customer base, and everybody moves forward, which is a wonderful thing. All right, so this is one of the biggies, right? So this is one of the things that's super easy to measure, right? So the days that you start doing social going forward, you can start to track to see how many people you're getting from those different posts, because that will help you figure it out. When you first do it, it may be a little bit hard for you to figure out exactly which social you're going to need for yourself. Like I said, you can do some research to see where your audience tends to be, but you can actually see the traffic that comes. And this is why it's so important to make sure that you have a call to action on your social. Make sure you have links in your profile for the different social platforms, because then you can see that X number of people have come from Instagram, X number of people have come from Pinterest, and you can start to monitor. Now, don't make snap decisions. It's a long tail kind of a game. You've got to let it go on for a while, and then you will start to see clear patterns that, like, okay, well, on Pinterest, these kinds of posts are bringing a lot of traffic over. We'll do more of these there, but this type, not so much. But these other ones are doing really well on Instagram, so we'll focus those over there because that's where we see those. But all this information is there for you, and it makes it a great way for people, again, to find you. Because if you don't use social media with this type of thing in mind, your leads are going to be limited to people who already are familiar with you, or who happen to trip across your keywords, assuming that your SEO ranking is high enough, or that you've bought enough ads for, which may or may not have worked. But by being out there on social media on a regular basis, making sure that you've got those links there for people to be able to go and get that additional information for free, you are definitely building a much bigger funnel for yourself. Right? Oh, thank you, Ace. I appreciate you putting those links there. Okay, let's keep going. So, this is one that I don't think gets enough attention, but the whole gem part of social media for me is, yes, in addition to everything else that you've been doing, I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of the fact that this is a chance for you to stand out from the rest of the crowd, right? So this is the time for you to let you shine, let your business shine. There are very few things on this planet that are completely unique, right? There's probably somebody doing exactly what you're doing, right? Whether they're selling your goods, products, services, whatever. The difference is you. The way you do it, the level of service you bring to it, your unique spin to things, your unique creativity. So this social media is built for this, right? So yeah, everybody's posting pictures on Instagram, maybe with a saying in it or whatever, but this is a chance for you to do it your way, right? And to get your message out there and to kind of prove that, you're doing something a little bit different that will click with people who are looking for that type of different. One second. The wind is kicking up all kinds of stuff. Yes, thank you, John. I appreciate that. That's good. So this is a great opportunity to stand out from the pack a little bit. Make sure that whatever you're posting on social, you kind of want to have a storyline for, you want to have a goal for it, but don't miss out on the opportunity to focus in on what it is that makes you special, what makes your product, your goods, your services special, unique, the extra level of service that you provide. This is a great opportunity for it. And again, this is another opportunity for you to humanize it, right? Drop the corporate brick and mortar facade, whether or not you're brick or mortar, and let you shine through. Let your employee shine through. Let your business shine through as something that is more than just another cookie cutter, right? Because we're not cookie cutter. We all have something has driven us to the business that we're doing. So let that shine through. It's a perfect place for it. My favorite, speed and flexibility. This is huge. So I got a little story for this one. You're used to my stories by now, right? So, as you might have heard the other day, Fortnite went away for a couple of days. And there was much angst and discussion going on. And I don't know what put it in my head, but all of a sudden I'm like, hey, there are people out there who are bored because I don't have Fortnite to go play. So on the fly, I went live on a bunch of different platforms. And what I did was, because I wanted to see what would happen. So I went to each platform individually, went live, and I just sent out a tweet. That's it. I didn't do anything else. I just sent out one tweet just to see what would happen. And I can tell you that I got numbers that I have never seen before. Now, this was a one-off point in time kind of a thing. But it's the kind of thing like, no ad campaign is ever going to be that quick and that flexible, right? I was able to just do it, boom, go out there. I mean, it's the other benefit of going live, is that there's not any ramp up time needed, right? I literally did, for each one that I went live on, it took like 3 to 5 minutes to get myself set up. And then I was out there and I did it, and I got to talk to some people who I'd never talked to before. So the speed and the flexibility that you get from social media is truly unique. I mean, even blog posts, right? Yes, you can go and you can post a blog post anytime you want, but it's going to take a little bit of time for people to get notified, if they're using it in an RSS feed, for the search engines to find it and everything else. You're not going to get that sense of immediacy or speed anywhere else than on social media. So I just told that story because it was just funny little like, hey, look, it's time for a quick experiment. Let's see what happens. And it was a lot of fun. So you can do things, you can certainly schedule it out. That's no problem. But you can also do things on impulse or on the fly. And as a matter of fact, that's a good thing to mix it up with. Like, you want to have a regular schedule that you're posting on, so people are looking for things then. But sometimes it's those on the fly ones that really, get some traction underneath them. Also, it's a situation where you've got a lot of flexibility in how you communicate, right? You can do text, you can do photos, you can do just images, you can do video, animated GIFs. Like, you are truly only limited by your creativity. And again, I do this a lot, but this is all you need. If you've got more, great, but this is all you need. So it makes it truly flexible, truly quick to do, and you can literally do it anywhere. I know somebody who has been going around and doing a lot of traveling and that type of thing, and she's just incorporating all the places that she's going into her socials. So, whether she's off, meeting with a client, or she's doing speeches or whatever, she jumps on. Maybe she does a story on Facebook. Maybe she does an Instagram live for 5 or 10 minutes. Maybe she's just posting pictures from her trip. But all of that feeds into not only continuing the conversation with her current and her potential audience, but also keeping that human side of it. It's like, hey, look, I saw this cool thing, or hey, this was the most amazing coffee I've ever had. If you're ever in this town, go check this out, that type of thing. So speed and flexibility, hands down, social media is the win. And of course, again, we want to get back to measurement again, right? So in addition to being able to track the traffic that you're getting to wherever you're pointing people, so your website, your blog, your e-commerce site, even cross, different socials, all of that is data that you can track and you can see, but you also get analytics from the different social platforms. And they may give you insights, and you may see current and potential customers that you were not completely aware of, or maybe had been thinking about but weren't sure whether or not they were interested. You can see all that information. Also, it gives you a really good way to kind of compare, because when you're just looking at one set of analytics, which is true of any kind of data set, I'll try not to geek out too much here because I love data, but it is the kind of thing where if you can get a broader data set to work from, you can do some compare and contrast, because it will make it even clearer which are true spikes and valleys and which might just be anomalies on one platform. So again, you've got a lot of options here. Now, I did want to show you real quick. Hang on, I need to switch worlds here, and I should take that down. That's not what I wanted to show you. This is what I wanted to show you. So this will give you just a little bit of an idea of the types of things. So in this case, this happens to be the type of and the presentation of your analytics from Instagram. So they break it down, men and women. I'm sure we'll expand that later because it's a little too binary, but it also gives you insight into, what days and times, and you can flip through and see all this, by days, by hours. You get a little bit more information about what days of the week are stronger, or, how many people are looking at your stuff and responding to it who are followers versus new folks, age ranges, gender, that type of thing. Pinterest has the same type of thing. Now, don't be freaked out. I've just started doing Pinterest myself. But you get a feel for what your audience is, what's been popular, what kind of reactions you've been getting. This clearly is a winner. I need to go and look at that some more. You can filter it. You can pull it down. I don't want to spend a ton of time on that, but I just want to give you, a feel for the fact that there is a lot of information that you get back from doing your social posts. And so it's just a handy thing to keep an eye on also. Make sense? Are we good? Okay. While we're jacking here, and it goes, so one of the things people worry about is not having ideas. So that's why I did this. So if you sign up for my mailing list using this particular URL, which is yourtechcoach.net/content ideas, no space, I will send you a ebook that has 130 ideas for content for businesses. So right there, if the only thing that has been stopping you to date is not being able to come up with ideas, here's 130 for free. Go for it. Have a good time. It's the type of thing that once you start to do it, you start to see the opportunities. But it helps sometimes to have a list like that to work off of, because it can be a little bit intimidating at first to come up with the ideas, and then once you do it, it just starts to flow. It's an amazing and wonderful thing. So whatever roadblocks or writer's blocks you feel like you have now, those will go away very quickly. It's like, I guess it's like anything, right? The more you practice, the better you get at it. It's the same kind of thing there. Alrighty, let's keep going. We're almost done, right? Yes, we are. Okay, so this is another one, right? So brand authority. So for those of you who maybe are not familiar with this term, brand authority is, it's a big part of what makes customers trust a company. And really, trust is what is required for somebody to want to do business with you. So brand authority really just means that your current customers, your potential customers, your outliers, who hopefully are getting warmer, closer to the fire, feel confident that you know what you're doing, right? You're not a shyster, you're not a flash in the pan, you're not looking to take the money and run. And so their money is well spent, that they're not going to look foolish doing business with you among their peers, and that they are going to get value back from you. And so, people are like, well, how does having a social give me that? Like, how do people get that from my being on social media? And again, it gets back to the things I keep hitting on. You're going to be consistent about it, right? You're going to provide value, whether it's information, education, entertainment, mixing up all of those. Those are the things that create that brand authority. Again, now these are not things that are going to happen quickly, but you do this over time, right? You're just going to lay the foundation and then just keep building off of it. And by being consistent and by responding to their comments and maybe even following some of them and interacting with them that way, you don't have to follow everybody who follows you, but you may find that maybe some other, companion like businesses to the type of thing that you do are going to start to follow you, or maybe some of your regular customers are going to be there. All of this feeds into this feeling of brand authority and trust, because you're not just taking, you're also giving. And that really is the key to social. Nobody wants to feel hard sold on social. They want to feel like it's a friendly conversation, that their time just even on social is well spent, because a lot of people feel like scrolling through social media can feel like a guilty pleasure to a lot of people, but when they're getting benefit out of it, that goes away very quickly. And if you are the person that is helping them lose that feeling of the guilty pleasure and more like, hey, this is valuable, then that again is going to help that whole trust thing, which is building your brand authority. Okay, so just to wrap up, here's the whole list. Okay, so increased brand recognition, encouragement, inbound traffic, that's definitely a win. Cost effective, who doesn't love something that basically costs nothing but gives you such ROI on it, right? You get a sense of community out of it, you're getting more traffic out of it. Actually, that was a typo, but okay. What was that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was number 6? Let's go back and say. Sorry, evidently my list is out of date here, but that's okay. We've got the idea. It's going to bother me now. Brand encouragement. Oh, the thought leader. That's the one I missed from this list. My apologies. I'll fix that before I repost. It gives you a chance to post truly unique content, right? You've got the speed and flexibility, which is a massive win. Always keep an eye out from my little experiment the other day, I definitely want to keep an eye out on anything that happens that starts to trend that maybe you can piggyback on is definitely worth the time. You're going to get improved customer insight, and you're going to build that brand authority. All right. If you have any questions, comments, if you have an idea for a show, feel free to reach out to yourtechcoach.net. There's a contact form there. Just let me know if you need a fast answer. Let me know how to get back to you. Otherwise, I'll save it for another show. All of the best shows come from people asking me questions, because that's what this is all about. Just follow the others as well. Great. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that, Jer. Jer says over on Mixer, I really need to spend more time on Facebook myself. I hardly use it. Yeah, and I will admit that I struggle with Facebook a bit for, well, lots of reasons. But I make the effort there because as much as Facebook is a walled garden and is not good to be the only place that you're at because outside searches can't find you, there are people who don't leave Facebook. So you do want to try to at least have an active presence there, because some people will never exit the walled garden. Some people will never go into the walled garden. So you need to be on both sides of that wall, is basically what that comes down to. But yeah, it's a challenge. Okay, so that is what I have for you tonight. I hope that you will certainly think about it if you are not doing social. If you were thinking about cutting back on social, I beg of you not to do it in the fourth quarter. The fourth quarter is the time to stay the course. And then, certainly look at your analytics, look at your traffic, not just on your own website, but also through the different platforms. Make sure you have business accounts. So that's another thing that you want to keep in mind. Here's a bonus tip, right? So in order to get the really good analytics from Twitter, from Instagram, and from Pinterest, you want to set up that social media account as a business account. It's not a big deal. There's just a couple of extra fields you have to fill out, but they don't give the really good analytics to people who are not set up as business. So there's just an extra tip for you. Okay? Alrighty. Let's see. Would it be friendly for posting arts like I do with the others? Absolutely. Absolutely. That is the kind of stuff that is definitely a huge role, because the visuals for most of these are key. The one that people think isn't so much about the visuals is Twitter, and actually it's the opposite. The posts that people do to Twitter with some sort of image always rate higher than the ones that are just text. So yeah, any place that you are going to share your art, maybe provide a little insight into it in the description, or like if you're on something like Instagram, where maybe you could show like the early version of it, and then you get the one with the dots where they can scroll through, so you can do like an early version, midway through, and then the final version. All those kinds of things. Okay, people who are not artists love that kind of stuff, because they love to see the genesis of it all the way through the complete product, because we're mesmerized by it and impressed by it. So absolutely. Also, especially if you're looking to promote your artwork, which I've seen your artwork, clearly, you really should be doing that, because you're an amazing artist. Somebody who is starting to think about, I really should find somebody who can help me with my emotes or my social, or whatever, my web layout, whatever it is that you're going to focus on, by posting those kinds of things in addition to other things in your social, will start to click in their brains. Because when people are starting to think about it, even when it's still sort of on that subconscious level, they're not actively doing research yet, but they're just kind of kicking the idea around in their head, that's when they start to see things. So it's kind of like the new car thing, right? When you buy a new car, all of a sudden that's the only car you see on the highways. It's the same kind of thing when people are going through the social media platforms. Whatever it is that they are thinking about may have been in front of them the whole time, but they were not consciously seeing it until they were ready for it, until they were ready to start looking for it, until they were ready to start thinking about it. Then all of a sudden, that's all they see. So by putting your art out there, that's exactly the kind of reaction you would start to get. I mean, you're certainly going to get a following of artists, but you will also just get a following of people who hire artists, are impressed by artists, and those are also two important groups, because obviously the ones looking to hire, that's a slam dunk, but the ones who are impressed by it are also the ones who will refer you that you will never know referred you, right? So they will be talking to somebody at a party, on a coffee break, and somebody that they know says, gee, I really wish I could find somebody who could do X, and they would go, oh, hey, I've got this great person on Instagram, go follow them. So yeah, I would totally do that. Okay? Hey, happy to help. That's what this is all about, right? I'm talking to Jer over on Mixer, and by the way, I want to make sure I'm getting it right. So it's Jer Henning over on Mixer. If you have any interest in watching somebody create amazing art who can also articulate to you the process that he's going through and how he's doing it and how he makes the decisions, get yourself over to Mixer and follow Jer, because oh my gosh, it's so fascinating to watch and just a wonderful guy. So, oh, it's the truth. I totally love your streams. Look for my fact, I know I missed a couple and I'm not happy about it. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. I will be here next Thursday with a different topic for you. Always, it's 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and I am right now doing it to Facebook, to YouTube, and to Mixer. And if you are catching this on the replay, feel free to go ahead and throw comments in, you know, the likes, the follows, the subscribes. All these things are lovely things, and they actually help me expand my reach, which I greatly appreciate. For those of you who might want to come and hang out at the after party, I am on Discord on Thursday and Friday. I'm on Discord. No, I'm on Twitch on Thursday and Friday night. Thursday, usually get on around 10:30. And also, again, on Friday, we rehash whatever we talked about and also just talk about other business topics, and then we get silly too. So feel free to come over and join the party. If you're curious about Discord, you can come check it out. Just send me an email and I can send you an invite. Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, John is so good. So here you go. If you want to follow Jer over on Mixer, this is where you need to go. It's mixer.com/Jer Henning. Okay? Definitely worth it. It's excellent content and a lot of fun. And a good community. Talking about community before. Excellent community people follow Jer. Okay? All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We will see you soon. My God, John is on it tonight, okay? So if you want to find me over on Twitch, I don't know why I came up with Jer's picture again, but I'm happy about that. You can visit me on Twitch tonight at twitch.tv/You're a Tech Coach, no spaces. It's funny why I brought Jer's image in. I like that. Jer's art is so cool. I just love it. It makes me happy. How many things in life can you say that about? Hopefully a lot. All right, we will talk again soon. Have a good one. Bye.